Okay, so I went and grabbed a bit of embed code so that this will be populated when we go back to the builder, and we're going to proceed with our widget types. So I'm going to add another widget. The next widget type we have are feature blocks. Now, these next ones are the main reason as to why I'm creating this page for us, because it's sometimes hard to remember what is what. So first, I'm going to put this. This is a feature block. And then I'm going to add another widget that is a feature block. Okay, now on any widget where we're going to select photos, we need to save the widget before we can create our photo selections. So I'm just going to press save, and then I'll get a little button that says add item. Now, this is my first item. I can add as many or as little items as I want. Well, really, you need to add at least one so that you have something to show. So I'm just going to put here feature block 1. Then for any items within the widget where we're linking to something, we'll give you a few options. You can create a custom link, which means you're going to link outside of the website. So you might link to Southern Oregon or Travel Oregon or directly to one of your partners. If you link to an account, it's going to pull the account's website and link directly to them. You can link to an article and you can link to a page. And once we have enough itineraries, you'll also be able to link to an itinerary. The important thing, especially about the articles and the pages, is by using this drop-down and selecting the article from a drop-down, if you change the URL of the article, this link is automatically going to change because it's mapped in the database to that page, not directly to the URL. So this is going to make it a little more versatile and a little easier when we change pages or where they are or what they're named to make sure that we don't end up with broken links within the site. So I'm just going to say I'm going to link to a page that is artisan foods. So you do have two options. One is to have a title and one is to have a button text. Mostly, I think we've removed the button text when we were going through the design. We didn't really like it, but we still do have that option. So maybe sometimes you might leave the title off and only have the button, or sometimes you might have the title and no button text, or you can have both. So since I've typed actually on this page, before I press select image, I'm going to press save because I'm going to get a pop-up that says if I haven't saved, I'll lose it. So press OK. And then I'm going to go in here, and this is probably the only photo selection I'll show you because they all happen the same. So you can do a search up here. So you can search for wine, and it will search the alt tag, the description, the title, and bring up everything that's related to wine. So let's just select this one. And you'll see here I don't have an insert into content option because here I am inserting this image into a structured area. So I'm going to need to make sure that I have the proper crop. So you'll see here, these are all the crop sizes that you're currently utilizing within the site. You know which crop size you can work with because it'll be green when you go to select. So I'm going to crop this image. And then you're going to see this notice. Okay, so it says selected image is smaller than the crop dimensions. As we've talked a little bit about the retina displays, which is basically used on Apple products, they tend to show really, really large images on a smaller screen to hopefully make the image look more crisp. So if you get this notice, you can still crop the image and use it. But as you'll see here, it looks kind of blurry. So on a retina display, this image is going to look like this. It's going to look blurry. Right now, retina displays make up about 15% of the overall displays that we're seeing in the analytics. So best case scenario is that you wouldn't use this image. You would go back and get a different one that was the proper size. But sometimes you just don't have the best image and you have to use what you can use. So I'm going to select this image just so you can see how it appears on a regular screen. So I'm going to press save here. and then it takes me back to this screen. I'll scroll down to my crop and I'll press select photo. So you'll see here, doesn't look very blurry because it doesn't actually have to be as big as it is. The Retina displays just require that bigger image. So, of course, best option is to get the bigger image and use it. The good news is Dusty has also employed some image optimization techniques. So when you save that big image, it doesn't necessarily mean that that large image is going to be served to somebody who doesn't need it. He is saving the images in several different formats and sizes so that he can select which item is the best to be served based on the user's device, and that helps a lot with load time and speed. Okay, so I always save one more time. You don't really probably need to, but just to be safe. And I'm only going to add one here just so that we can go to the next one, which is going to be an account feature. So I've been making those each twos. Okay. I'm going to add another widget that is an account feature. This is a very easy one to do. All you do is select the account from the list. So let's do 2Hawk. I'm going to press save. And I'm going to add another widget that says 2Hawk. Oops. So that will know that. Okay. And then activities alternating. Again, this is one where we're going to have to do photo selection, so I have to save in order to get my add item button. And I'm going to do 2 of these. Activity 1. Oops. Now watch, I'm going to do this just so you see. If I type in here and then I press add item, it says unsaved changes will be lost. So this activity 1 is going to be lost. But I wanted you to see, you can add all your items, however many you want to have, and then fill them all in, which is what I usually do. So I'm going to do activity 1, and I'm going to make this link to an account. Let's say 4 daughters. And we can choose a color, blue or green. I tend to not choose any color because the color to me is a little bright. So you can have no color or you could have blue or green. So I'm just going to do a blue here so we can see that. Then I'm going to call this activity 2. I'll link this one to an article. Get my article list here. Okay, and then I'm going to press save. Now I need to select the image that's going to go with it. And I didn't cover this when I did the last one, but with the cropper, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can move it around, so you can kind of pick how and what you want to display here. So I'm going to make this my crop, and it's going to take me back to the page here where I can press select photo. And I'm going to select one more image here, just so that we have 2. Since it's alternating, you really kind of need that. Okay, and I did not give this a title, so I'm going to do that. And the one we were working on was activities alternating. And I'm going to add another widget with H2. It's called activities tile. So we're going to work on next. very similar, except for here, we are not going to be selecting a color, and we have the option to add a YouTube video. So this is going to be, so I'm going to add two, just so you can see both tiles. Here I'm going to have tile 1 and tile 2. And for this one, I think I will make it a YouTube. So I'm going to get my trusty YouTube ID. And then for this one, I might just have it be button text 2 and some text in here. And then I'm going to save this. And I'll select my 2 images. I think I'll just select the 2 images that I did before. Oh, and that one I didn't need to select an image for because it's a YouTube video, so oopsie daisies. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to pause this video and start video 3, and then I'll finish it out and we'll look at the overall builder as well.